the winner 2014 Telstra Micro Business Award. The winner is Urban Escape.
Well, so congratulations firstly to the amazing businesses, not just in the room, but the ones we were, I don't like to say up against, but because everyone was a winner and there was some truly amazing businesses and people, and I'm very humbled to be up here amongst all you guys, so thank you. I find it a lot easier to talk about my amazing team, our business, our belief system, than I do about maybe myself and my own challenges. So, as I've been told or helped out today by Barbara, to try to implement a little bit of the story which got us here. So bear with me for just a second so I can share a little bit of the challenges which I'm sure a lot of you also face. So 16 years, 14 weeks, 6 days, and around about 8 weeks ago, my world changed. And so for the people that are working that out, that was Anzac Day in 1997. Being a young 23-year-old male, I was clearly invincible. What 23-year-old male isn't? However, in training for the Australian Championships in inline skating rollerblading, I fell while performing a trick, and it was from 20 feet. I remember lying there for a second, then getting up and just staring at these bones and lumps coming out where my shoulder once was. Fast forward 6 weeks and about 50 tests, each more invasive than the next, and I walk into my surgeon's office. Sitting behind him, beside him, is an occupational therapist, and on the other side is a counsellor. They asked me to sit down for what they're about to tell me. I declined, standing tall and brave, or at least I thought so. Then it happened. After all the tests, electric shocks to my nerves, CT scans, nuclear bone testing, all kinds of things, it was conclusive. My arm was dead. And that sure, I can keep it, but it would be more hindrance than help. So they wanted to amputate. I felt like I'd been kicked in the guts by a horse, literally. I fell back, and luckily, the chair I declined earlier caught me, or for the most part. It's a lot like running your own business. Best laid plans and all that, but things get flipped around so quickly, and it feels like that horse kicks you in the guts. It's just there's not always a chair to catch us. So I've jumped up and instantly started questioning, yelling, not at the doctors themselves, but at the situation. But. So we came up with a strategy, or I convinced them to try a solution, which was 95% guaranteed to fail. Or as I like to say, I had a 5% guarantee of success. That's what we do in business, isn't it? Every person I've met and spoken with throughout the last few days has had that moment of being told, no chance. Over 90% fail, etc. But you got back up. You found a solution. And here you sit, winners, leaders, innovators. So the solution I had begged them to pursue involved removing the nerves from my legs and trying to establish them in my arms. Rob Peter to pay Paul scenario. Yes, it was unlikely I would run again, fluently, or dance. And for someone who has danced on live TV in front of 15,000 people, and there's someone here tonight who was there, or at the grand final in front of over 100,000 live, plus the TV viewers, for someone who was playing semi-professional basketball and had played over in the States, not running or dancing was a big deal. And not only that, but at best, it would take at least 7 years to graft properly, if, and a big if, at all. Is it worth it? I mean, why risk all this for a less than 5% chance of using my arm? It's because I love doing hair. I genuinely love the fact I get the opportunity to help people feel better about themselves. Because I love that. And I love my job so much that I was willing to risk everything else just for that one thing. So the morning came and the nurse comes in. I have to shave your shoulder to prepare you, she says. So away I go and I prep the shoulder. Oh, and the leg, she says. Now I don't know why, but I just wouldn't do it. It's a bit like Kentucky John from Today said in his very inspirational speech, is that uncompromising belief in oneself. All I remember is waking up, looking down, seeing my leg wasn't shaved. I smiled and passed back out. A year later, I won Young Australian Hairdresser of the Year, and then we fast forward almost 20 years. How does this relate? Every person in this room has faced up to enormous challenges. Things you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy, but you didn't just sit down and give up. You sacrificed, you fought, you won. Thank you to Vanessa, my never-ending support. Our parents, not all of them who could be here, but my mum probably crying over at the table there. She cries all the time. Richie and Gloria, who had the unending faith in me from the start, thank you. Dane, he's just here for his looks. He helps us out, his moral support. A couple of people that couldn't be here, Jenna and Amy, other members of our team. And I thank you all for giving us such a bright and exciting future. I mean, how good is it to be your own boss? We get to choose which 16 hours of the day we work.